Hey guys, it's Monday Motivation. Hope you're well. I know I wasn't there last week, but last week was very hectic. First day of homeschooling, and to be fair, I wanted to. I can't even express in words how I felt, but my son told me it was the worst school ever. I do believe that my Ofsted report since then has improved slightly, and given time, I'm hoping that over the next 12 weeks or so, I'm able to dramatically improve the quality and standard of education that I'm providing for my son at home. To an extent that he'll be happy. Talking about my son, just two warnings before I get full blown into today's Monday Motivation. Firstly, obviously, my son is at home. He's at home all of the time, as am I, and as are most of you guys out there. So that means there is nowhere for me to kind of sneak off to in order to record a video without my son barging in, and he will try and be part of the video. And as time goes on, you'll see that I have been filming some of the homeschooling that I've been doing, and I'll be posting some of those videos up online. And you'll get to see the little character that is my blessed little Prince Luam. So, second warning is Gigs. We're in Giggs's yard. This is his yard. This is his home. Giggs likes to come and feature in my videos. He'll hear me talking in a bit. He actually likes listening to me talk, as I'm sure the majority of you guys watching this video right now would agree as well. So my son is here. Mommy's recording a video, sweetheart.
Did you say what's matter?
No, I didn't. Mommy's recording a video, yes.
Hello.
Okay, so today's Monday Motivation, what I wanted us to focus on is the Serenity Prayer. Now, I know some people believe that the Serenity Prayer was established in the Bible and is a Christian belief. However, it was written by somebody in the 1930s, and it was a minister that used to do sermons in churches and religious places, but it is by no way or means just a prayer that people from a Christian origin can believe in. And the Serenity Prayer is, God, I've got it here on the wall. God, let me come closer. Excuse me, thank you, Luam.
My name Wiggles. My name is Wiggles.
Right, God grant me
My
the
name
serenity
is
to
Wiggles.
accept, Luam, the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now, ultimately, the majority of us are in a very difficult situation, and none of us have ever prepared for something like this in our lives. I'm facing a lot of difficulties myself. Obviously, you heard me talk about homeschooling. You are also going to hear me say some very savoury words to my son in a minute. Luam,
Bye-bye.
this is all the time. Anyway, so, sweetheart, on a serious note, let mommy just record it. So, I was made redundant a few weeks ago. I'm a supply teacher. Obviously, I've spoken about that a lot, and that suited me because I could focus on mind and mentalities. However, now I know that the idea of me working in a school, there's no point me even thinking about that between now and September. So realistically, I have to look at financially how I'm going to manage. I am a homeowner and a landlord, but obviously, even though I can get my mortgage repayments frozen, I have got tenants who are self-employed, or one of the tenants is self-employed, and as a result they cannot afford to pay their rent. So it swings and roundabouts. I was in two minds about whether I was going to apply for the jobs going at Tesco's, etc, etc, but what I've done instead is I've volunteered for the NHS roles, and financially I'll find a way to get through this. But I thought, instead of us focusing on, we can't control those things, some of those things that I mentioned there, I don't have any control over those. I would love to, but I don't. So I have to kind of give them to God as such, and hope that whatever's meant to happen will happen. But what I want to do to distract you with is try and look at the positives.
Vic,
So
are
I
you
have a
okay?
challenge for you.
Vic.
The challenge is that I want you to think of 12
Me.
things that you would do in your house if you had 12 weeks off and no passport and you were broke. Yeah? So 12 things, and I've done 12 because initially it was the whole 12 weeks, and it may go on. COVID-19 and the coronavirus lockdown may go on for longer than that, but ultimately I realized, like, in the first week I was doing certain things. I was like, oh my god, I've wanted to do this for a while. So I'll just give you some examples of the things that I've got on my list. I've got lay artificial grass. I bought about 9 meter by meter squared sheets of artificial grass, probably about 6-7 months ago, ready to lay in my mum and dad's garden. So that's one of the jobs on my list, when we get some sunshine like we had earlier in the week, because today's freezing. I put altar clothes. I have loads of different outfits that either are too, I wish they were too big for me, too small for me, so the arms might be a bit tight, or I've accidentally burnt a certain part on the dress, but I don't want to throw the whole dress away, so I can alter it. So I've always been a whiz at altering things. So that's another thing on my list. That's 2 things. Print pictures for frames. How many of us have got these big collections of pictures that we've never ever sorted through to see, well, actually, what's junk and what's not? And being able to print some of those pictures so that we can see them consistently. As you can see, obviously, I've got this motivational wall display, but one of the other walls over here is very much filled with pictures and looking at, like, different moments within, like, that me and my son have shared with our family and our loved ones. So being able to print some more pictures and put those in there so that we can kind of think of those and reminisce on some of those days. Put boxes away in the attic. I've got loads of boxes in the hallway. I haven't been up to the attic. I couldn't be bothered to get the ladder and put the ladder up there and climb up the ladder, and then all of that. I haven't got one of those attics that you can just climb up and it's got the ladder built in. So ultimately that's another thing. Plant my fruit trees. So I am an avid gardener. Love gardening. Keeps me so occupied. Gives me a sense of achievement. It is really a fulfilling hobby to take up. Anyone interested, then please do let me know. I'm happy to give you some tips. And maybe one day I might film this out in the garden. But I've got plants. I've got trees that I bought last year that are in large plant pots, but I want to actually put them into the ground. And my parents' garden is slabbed, so I'd need to lift some of the slabs in order to plant the trees. But that's what I aim to do. Fix Luam's trampoline. I am so happy. Since me and Luam moved back to my parents' house, probably be about 9-10 months ago, his trampoline's been here, but I haven't fixed the netting around it, so I've done that. I can tick that off my list. What else have I got on my list here? Read 3 to 4 books. If you see my book collection, and these are just, I'm going to show you some of the books that I've bought just like recently. Let's see. So these are just some of the books that I've purchased recently. And it is just trying to get through that list of books. I've got on here, I've always wanted to learn to play the guitar. Now, Luam has a guitar. He was bought a guitar for a present. It's a full-size adult guitar. I don't know how to play one.
Yes, it is.
But I would like to learn to play it and then ultimately be able to teach Luam how to play it. There you go. What else have I got? I've got redecorate. Now, obviously, to a certain degree, redecorating is going to cost money, and financially I'm not in a position that I can afford that, but there might be certain things that I can do in terms of redecorating. So just looking at things, or house improvements, or those pictures you've always wanted to put up on the wall, or those shelves that you bought ages ago and you've never been able to fix, or those little bits of DIY like the crack in the wall or whatever it might be. I'm very DIY savvy, and so if you're not, maybe one of your 12 things could be to learn how to fill in a crack in the wall, or how to put up shelves, or whatever it might be. Those are some of my things. I don't think there were 12 there completely, but it's just to kind of give you an idea. We're all in this situation together. I don't believe that there's anyone that's sitting there that has not been affected some way, shape or form by the coronavirus and the lockdown and the unemployment rate and the closure of schools and the emotional strain that is bearing on people. But if we consistently focus on the negative, if we carry on thinking about the fact that I might not get paid rent from my tenants. Oh, sorry, I just remembered. Sorry, I know that was a good point. I was just looking at my hair there. This is another thing on my list. Learn how to cane roll my own hair. Hence why my hair is sectioned into 4 parts. I'll let you know how I get on with that, I guess. But yeah, it's about looking at the positive, or trying to look at the glass half full. We are all in a situation. It's a bit of a crap situation. We're not able to socialise. The people that we quite possibly love and get on with and appreciate the most, and that appreciate us the most, may not necessarily be the people that we live with. And that's the sad truth for a lot of us. However, there are still ways that we can feel a sense of achievement. There are still ways that we can focus on the glass being half full. So if you think of it this way, that you have 12 weeks to complete at least 12 tasks.
He went on top of their gigs.
Yeah, without being distracted by your children. But 12 tasks, 12 weeks of just class it as not being at work. Don't think about the financial side of it. I know that sounds easy for me to say, but we cannot change that. There are certain things we cannot change, and it's about us finding that balance and trusting in God, if you're a spiritual person, to know that there are certain things we can control, and we need to change the things that we can control to better our situation. But there's certain things that are beyond our control, and there is no point us focusing on how those things that are beyond our control are going to affect us. I, at this point, I'm going to leave this video because, as you can see, I have some gate crashes in the video. But I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Mind Our Motivation, and I'd be really interested to hear your 12 things that you've decided to put on your list. So once more, I'm going to say it. I know it's a big mouthful, but 12 things I would do if I had 12 weeks off work or school, no passport and no money. Get your lists going, and please comment in the section. Let me know what you've thought of. Take care, guys, until another week. Bye.